Tight spaces are a lot of people's big fears. Not having much freedom to move is something that messes with people's brains. I started building my very first haunted house when I was about 12 years old, and I had about 3 actors working in it, and year after year it would get bigger and bigger.
Timur's first haunted house was 2012, and that was a summer when I had a brain tumor and they were doing brain surgery. That was a year that I was bedridden and completely out of commission. And so Dan had a conversation with him. Timur said that he was going to build a haunted house. Did he tell you?
No, he just started doing it one day. There happened to be some PVC pipe laying around. I think it was leftover from a project. And it was up, and he started building a little lean-to teepee thing with it, and he put some plastic on it, and I came home from work, and this thing was sort of in the front yard.
So then Dan came and told me, he says, your son is making a haunted maze out there. And I told Dan, okay. I said, let him know right now that at the end of the week, he's got to take it down, because there were so many people coming to visit, and they would have to go through Timur's haunted maze to get up to the front door. And trying to bring in a whole casserole or tons of food to have to go through his haunted maze was pretty challenging, I'm sure. So Dan had told him that. And at the end of the week, when I went out and looked at his maze, and I saw how much work and effort he had put into it, I didn't have the heart to tell him to take it down.
Had a couple, 2 or 3 friends helping him, and it was very cute and kind of, simple and small. And then, but then it was sort of like the bug was kind of, he really enjoyed it.
The haunted house started with a core group of my friends from middle school, about 6 of us, and then throughout the years we just kept expanding. They'd bring in friends, they'd start working in the haunted house. Yeah. That's good. The reason I do this every year is because it's something that I really enjoy. I love directing, like the lights, where the people should go. Right when we're here, you see how you can't see anything behind there, so right here's the perfect spot. Keep going, you can see it, right? Right. So try that again. Oh my god. Yeah, perfect. Hey, give me a flashlight. The reaction I'm looking for is while they're in the maze is like, wow, this is terrifying. I want to go through it again. But at the end of the night, I want them to know it's a maze that's in the neighborhood. It's not one of those big productions that other places put on. It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's something simple that teenagers built that's still frightening in a residential neighborhood, and then at the end of the night people can think to themselves, wow, that's pretty awesome for a neighborhood haunt. It's great to see all these little kids that are too scared to go through the actual 8 to 10 full maze, because from 6 to 7 it's just like no actors, but they get to go through and still feel a little creeped out.
Not scary. That was not scary.
Well, you better wait till all the actors come in then. Then you'll be scared.
My parents do have to put up with a lot because my mom really cares about her garden and everything. Whatever you care about, you don't just want to see it to be ruined. Or not ruined, but like something else is in the way of it.
I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that it's just something I have to do and want to do for him, because I only have him for probably 2 more years, and probably the year he graduates from high school, I'll be sad the next Halloween because my yard will look perfect and there will be no sign of him.
Well, yeah, I mean, the yard might look nice, and yeah, right. There may not be a haunted maze, and then we'll really miss it. Or he'll never move out, and he'll just keep this haunted maze going around the house.